Welcome back to the best years. Many seniors are moving from private homes to resort-style communities that also offer life care or skilled nursing care if it's needed. Here to talk about the legal and personal considerations of such a move are attorney Robert Novi and Kathy Moore, Director of Marketing at Harrogate. Welcome to the best years.
Thanks for having me.
Likewise.
Now, Kathy, how early in life should we begin planning for our later years when we may need medical help?
I think one issue is people wait a little bit too long. So when you are thinking about your retirement, I think you should start beginning to plan, where do you want to live if the children have left the home? In what area are you interested in? Is it a destination community, someplace that's a favorite that you visited throughout your life on vacations? Or do you want to stick close to your home, your doctors, your churches, and your friends? So I'm going to say, as soon as you're starting to think about retirement, you think about where you want to live and spend your golden and silver years.
And what kind of options are there out there right now?
Many options. There's some dynamic 55 or what I called gap communities. They're usually a community you move to after the children have left the home and you want a resort style community that still has a single dwelling home. And then you go on to another community that would offer you a continuum of care, independent, assisted living, skilled nursing, all under one roof. Some people choose to do the gap communities and wait for the later years, or some people decide, you know what, the best investment is to do a continuing care retirement community as soon as they retire.
And that's what you offer at Harrogate. How does it work exactly?
Well, Harrogate is unique because we're one of the few true life care communities in Ocean County. We offer skilled nursing and it's included in a monthly fee, and I won't go through all the services and amenities that are included, but it's an upfront entrance fee. It is not real estate, it's a lifetime lease. We have multiple contracts and everything's included. So you go through our continuum as you need it. You need to start out in independent living and then access whatever level of care or service you need throughout your life at Harrogate.
And is this to give people peace of mind, to protect their assets,
It's
all of the above?
Oh, all of the above. I hate to say peace of mind. I would never promise that. But of course, to protect your assets and estates against the ever-rising costs of skilled nursing care, which is escalating at about 30% per year. Because it's included in your monthly fee, if you need skilled nursing and it's short-term, you get to stay in your apartment home, access skilled nursing, pay the same monthly fee. If you need to be permanently assigned to the nursing home, everybody goes down to the 1-bedroom rate. So if you have a very large 2-bedroom, you go down to the 1-bedroom rate. If I were to compare costs, annual about $100,000 a year. With Harrogate, it could be as little as $36,000 a year. So big protection.
Now, Robert Novi, as an attorney who specializes in estate planning, you're an attorney many people really want to avoid. People don't want to think about this. Is that right?
It's true, but I always like to say that it's a lot less expensive to prevent a fire than having to put one out. So getting timely advice can help people avoid the catastrophes later on and protect themselves and their loved ones.
Of course, a will is something we all should have. What percentage approximately of Americans don't have one?
Sadly, between 60 to 70%, Sandy, which is sad because the average American works 40 years to acquire what we refer to as their estate, and yet so few people provide for the future.
What are some of the most important documents that everyone should have in place?
Well, besides their will, which should be reviewed periodically every 3 to 5 years, they should also have a durable power of attorney, an advance directive, a medical directive, and sometimes a trust agreement, depending upon what assets, what family members, and what the dynamics are in their personal lives.
And what are some of the consequences when people do die without a will?
They literally die intestate, which means they allow, in this case, the state of New Jersey to write their will for them. And the unexpected can and often does happen. And it's also more expensive to settle an estate without a properly drawn will.
Now, before deciding to move into a continuing care retirement community like Harrogate, what are some of the things people should consider?
Well, of course, they should look at the residence agreement itself, the admissions agreement, to understand the consequences of it, what their obligations, their commitment is. They should look at the evaluation that the state regularly does, reviewing the facility, in this case Harrogate, which just recently had an excellent, I think a risk-free 5-star rating, which is the highest you can get. You should talk to other residents who've already lived there and to get a sense and feel of their satisfaction. And you should talk to the family members of those residents to see if it makes sense for you. Does it feel right? And you should certainly take a tour, and I know Harrogate is glad to offer you that tour and probably take you on a tour and offer you a free meal as well.
So dealing with the older adults you so often see who are not prepared, who don't have their paperwork in place. I want to tell you to tell me a little bit more about what some of those problems are, because maybe that'll encourage some people to get these things taken care of.
Well, as Kathy said, people generally do wait too long and put these things off. And in the absence of having the proper legal documents, sometimes if they're at risk, someone has to bring an action in court known as a guardianship, where they may lose all autonomy, the right to make the choices for themselves, and the third parties, the Office of the Public Guardian, and a judge may decide your future living arrangements for you. And it's more expensive, and it's a loss of privacy, which could really be avoided if you take the proper precautions now.
So why is it people don't want to deal with these issues? They're not going to go away.
I guess it's fear of the unknown, putting things off, the superstition, if they make a will, they're going to die, and in all due respect, we all are. But I view it as peace of mind and an opportunity to live with dignity and die with dignity at the same time, and know that you've taken responsibility for yourself and your loved ones and giving back to the community all at the same time.
And Kathy, finally, does Medicare cover any of the expenses?
Unfortunately, Medicare is paying less and less, and certainly they do not pay an entrance fee to a continuing care retirement community. As far as skilled nursing, you need to have at least a 3-day hospital stay. At Harrogate, what's nice, if you need acute care, physical therapy, speech therapy, which we do have at Harrogate, Medicare will pay for a few days. However, you don't have to worry at Harrogate, because if you run out of your Medicare days, Harrogate covers all that because it's included in your monthly fee, and people don't have to worry about covering those expenses. So that's an advantage of life care living.
The bottom line is get it taken care of, start early, be prepared. These are all issues we all have to deal with. Robert Novi, Kathy Moore, thank you so much for being on The Best Years today. For more information on aging in place, contact Kathy Moore at Harrogate Life Care at 1-888-551-5531 or visit harrogate-lifecare.org. For Novi and Associates, call 732-657-0600 or visit novilaw.com. When we return, we'll meet some seniors who are clamming it up.